Sinful one, you're hearing the voice of Emeka Onyineke, Chief Consultant, Active App and FinFast Group Solutions, who registered business and accounting software consultant. Welcome to today's class. Today's class is a continuation of our previous class where we talked about how you may be losing money in your business without knowing it. We mentioned that one of the ways you can lose money from your business stakeholders include losing money from your employees, your customers, your suppliers, and your bankers. So we started by explaining how we can lose money from our bankers, and we'll provide solution to that. So today we are looking at how we can lose money from our employee and see what solution we can provide to it. Now, how do we lose money from our employee? This is common knowledge. We all know that as a business owner, you know some you know that somehow the employees steal from you, but you don't consider it necessary or important. But we are here to tell you that those things you neglect, thinking that it is significant or is not important, is actually taking a toll on your business without you knowing it, because the multiplier effect of whatever they are stealing is high. What it does is it drags your business backward. It will not allow your business to grow to where it should grow. Can you imagine? Will you be surprised if I tell you that certain money has been discovered which we are all being stolen or being stolen by employees, and when you put the whole money together, it was enough to open a new branch of that same business size. Can you imagine that? So we shouldn't be neglecting this, and one of the reasons we are bringing it is because we want to highlight them and let you know the importance of you putting structures in place, because we are committed to protecting your business. That is our mission. So that's why we're bringing you this update. Not that you don't know how your money might be going to the hands of the employee. You might know, but you ignore it. So out of ignorance, you feel it doesn't really matter. But it matters. It matters because in Igbo palace, we say "Abata tufuru adeji aba." You can't be doing business and leave it to be porous. To the extent that it will now look like a water container that you're pouring water into without knowing that the water container has leakage. The container will never be filled up. The more you pour the water, the more it leaks. And so that is how it is for business. If you don't protect your money, the money that you're making, so it will be going down the drain without you knowing it. You might not know because you're still the business is providing you with all you need, and you're doing well when you look at it. But the truth is that you would have gone beyond where you are. You would have grown beyond where you are. So what that means, all those petty stealing, as you can call it, what it does is it takes you backward or makes you remain stagnant. So let's look at how we can lose money from our employees. First is what we call money theft. Money theft is the act of stealing cash by an employee from the employer's business. That's as simple as that. By the following ways: one, selling without remitting the complete cash realized. Some sales girls will sell, some sales girls and boys, they will sell, and part of what they sell they will keep to themselves and remit the rest. Number two, outright collection of cash from the drawer. Some cashiers will collect money from the drawer without record, without permission, without authorization. They just take some money. Some will even collect money to go for their lunch and all of that. You will not know. Number three, collecting cash from debtor customers without remitting. Sometimes some of the employees or even your boss go to the customers that are owing and collect money from them, collect cash from them without remitting it, and thereby mutilating the records, where it was recorded before that the person is going. They may go there and then mutilate it or do. That is why we recommend that you make use of accounting software. You adopt the use of accounting software, because you can mutilate book, but you can't mutilate the system. So that is how that one is done. Again, fictitious expenses. This is a situation whereby the employees or the boys, they incur expenses that they never actually incurred. They will raise voucher that to the fact that they have incurred a particular expense, but they never actually incurred it. So that money is written off and it goes to their pocket. This way your money is going down the drain on a daily basis. Imagine if you have an employee that is very dubious and decided that every day I must go home with 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000. That's one person, and another person may have the same target, or even higher. And then when you put all this in together, multiply it into months, into year, you see that you're losing a lot. You're losing a lot. Another way the employee can steal from you is by what we call inventory theft. This is another very, very dangerous way of losing money, because the inventory happen to be the backbone of your business. For those of us that are into product business, this is the backbone of your business, and this is even more susceptible to theft than cash. So now, how do you lose money from this in this one manner? Diverting goods to compromise customers. Some of the employees or some of the boys will go and have connive with the customers and they divert goods to them, supply goods to them, and then later they will go back and collect the money, and they at a reduced price and all of that. Then the second one is stock pilferages. This one is small but can happen regularly by almost everybody. This is the art of collecting goods for personal use without any documentation, without authorization, without any record. And keep taking on the employees just make use of the business for their personal. Nobody buys goods or buys anything outside. You understand? And when these things are done, no record are kept because they know it's not approved. No record are kept for them. So before you know it, a very large value or number of goods has disappeared from such practice. Then number 3 is supplying goods in excess to a customer. This one is very, very, very tricky. It might be happening even in your front. Your boys or your employees are supplying goods, and they think they are doing a genuine supply. You don't know that they will supply the goods in excess to such a customer, having agreed with that customer. Then later they will go back and collect the money for that excess they supplied. These are the ways the employees steal. It's not as if we don't know these things. We know, but we ignore them. And feel that putting processes in place will be more expensive. Than the truth is that these things you are seeing that happens, you lose more than the cost of putting checks and balances or the cost of putting processes in place. So that's why we recommend that you deploy the use of accounting software. Get in touch with us. That is what our mission is. That is what our mission is actually, to protect your business. Get in touch with us. We install an accounting software for you, set up the processes for you that will prevent all of these things. That will prevent it. The cost is nothing compared to what you are losing for not doing it. That's why we're bringing you this update. In the next class, we're going to be looking at how you can lose money from your customers. Remember, we said this money is being lost from your stakeholders, which include your employees, your customers, your suppliers, and your bankers. We have dealt with the bankers in our previous video. Today we have dealt with the employees. The next video will be on the customers, and then we'll go to the suppliers. These are based on our experiences. Most businesses lose a huge amount of money to some of these stakeholders in their business, but they don't know it because they have refused to put structures in place to dictate some of these things. So this is why we are bringing you this update. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Subscribe and follow us for more updates so that you will learn and see how you protect your business for good. For that is our mission. Active Arc and FinFast Proof Solutions, protecting your business. See you in our next class.